We're just gonna let this play out. See everybody in the bottom dancing. Welcome to another edition of the Mexican Soccer Show. We have a little music going on to get the mood right with this semifinales that have started. Federico's already doing the media vuelta. I like it. Let's go ahead. Let's play a little bit more. Let's see some video. There we are. Welcome to another edition Mexican Soccer Show Semifinales special. No El Tri. Just going to talk a little bit about what happened over the week with the games. Did your team make it? Talk a little bit about what's going to happen in the next week. Interesting. The Favoritos made it. No surprises, I think. But let's go say hi to everybody on the chat today. Yeah, great way to go. Mr. Tom Marshall in Guadalajara. We just keep the music on.
Yeah, good stuff. Got a new microphone. You like it?
There it is.
Yeah. Hopefully a bit better.
Looks
we'll
like
see.
You're up to play Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's later, sister. That's later. Or maybe we could have another game of FIFA after. Just don't play Johnny Rico, man. He's the sneakiest player of FIFA you've ever seen in your life, man.
Really?
He takes corner kicks and tries to run it down the byline and score.
We should have a FIFA tournament one day.
Whoa, hey, that is privileged information.
Broadcast. Johnny Rico back. Haven't seen you in a while, sir. I'm with the Aguilas get up. I mean, even the avatar. I mean, everything. Aguilas. How are you doing, sir?
I am living large, flying high. You know,
Nice.
this is,
Like the eagle. Soaring high like the eagle. Very nice. And not at least Mr. Cesar Hernandez.
who?
Cesar got a headset?
Some guy. He lives in Northern California. I don't know what he's doing out there. He's got some Christmas tree. I don't even have the little avatar thing that you guys have because I couldn't figure it out. But doing well. I like that intro. It reminds me of the movie Selena, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Salinas.
Where she goes down to Mexico and they talk about the dad. He's Edward James Olmos is saying like blah blah, like we have to be more Mexicans than Mexicans, more Americans than Americans. But anywho, I could actually have a podcast just on that movie.
I'm so down. I want to analyze like the scene with the two cholos that saved Selena's bus.
Just have a Selena podcast.
Yeah.
Just have a Selena podcast, right?
I'm down with that.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get started saying hi to everybody on the chat. As you know, this is a live show for many of you if you're watching on Monday Night Football here with the Mexican Soccer Show and FoodMex Source that are on there already. And the viewers, if you're listening to us via iTunes, thank you very much. I know that we usually get this uploaded usually by Tuesday, so hopefully you're watching this and you're listening to us. So we'll go ahead and get started, guys. Well, Liguilla, already semifinals. Can you believe it's already here? Finally, two more shows. I would say 2 weeks until we have our grand finale. Before we get started, I know that we do have a special guest that's going to come on the show later on today to talk about Gignac. Talk about Tigres and the influence in France. Gignac. Tom, go ahead and tell us the official way of saying it.
Probably not the best person to. Well, that's Tom. That's it. André Pierre Gignac. That's my best. It's still wrong. It's terrible though.
Well, he is. If you don't know, he's a journalist living in Guadalajara, and he covers pretty much all of the Mexican football, and I think over Central America too, right, Tom? For a lot of publications in France, and great to have him on to see his his point of view and the way that we see Gignac and what he does in our league, what he thinks about. So it's gonna be interesting since he knows a little bit of English but mostly Spanish. So Tom and I will be talking to him in Spanish, and Cesar and Johnny if he wants to too. But if we need to talk in English, then we'll do it. I think it'd be great. 3 languages.
I bet
We
Tom
know-
before.
We'll just do French too.
I met Tomas before. He speaks a little English. He
There
can
you
carry
go.
a conversation in English. Yeah.
There. Tomas is a good guy, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the Mexican Soccer Show. Dive right in with what it is, the semifinals. There it is. Semifinals are here. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened during the last week with the games. Just overall conversation, and I'll ask you guys, any surprises really?
Not really. I think we were
No.
all hoping for surprises. I think like there was a potential for Chiapas and Puebla to go out there maybe. And I was pushing for Chiapas, and I listened to the last podcast you guys had,
Mhm.
and so you were pushing for it too. And I think, understandably, we thought Chiapas might have been able to do something, but no. I mean,
I-
you got the 4 big teams out there, and yeah, I was hoping for something a little bit more. To shake things up a little bit more than what we expected. But I mean, I have no problems with this. It's going to be exciting to see Tigres out there. It's going to be exciting to see, Pumas. We're going to see Toluca. We're going to see America. But yeah, no surprises just yet. We'll see in the next round.
Johnny?
Yeah, my only surprise was how close Veracruz came. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the league leaders Pumas should have really easily handled Veracruz, which they didn't. But and I don't think Caesar's gonna get his wish of surprises in the next round because honestly, any team that advances out of any series is not a surprise.
Yeah,
You know,
I guess. I mean, Toluca. I think
no,
Toluca. No,
no,
that's a surprise. Who's
They-
pushing for Toluca right now?
between two, they have 20 goals between two strikers.
Yeah, but no one's. I mean, when you're looking at the Tigres roster and you look at the depth of the Tigres roster and you look at Toluca, I don't think anybody.
Okay, but the Tigres roster, yes, they have a big flashy name,
Yeah.
but Toluca did really good signings in their two strikers.
We already know about Toluca. We said this in the last pod. They'll make it to semifinals, and they can never make it and win it. I mean, it's
Yeah, I
Toluca
think
every time.
I think it's 4 out of 5 of the last semi-finals now for Toluca,
There
which
you
is
go.
pretty incredible. But yeah, I mean, they're
what
a
I
very
was-
good team. Very good team.
What I was saying is, if they make the final, it's not it would not be a huge surprise upset. They have the talent, they have the argumentos to be in the final.
I think it would be an upset. I think this is Tigres being the greatest team, man for man, or in the whole continent. I mean, this is Tigres Tuca, what they did in Libertadores. I think it'd be a huge upset if they don't make it to the final and what they displayed. Having that Toluca is a really good team, and not the same, but I think it would be. I think if Tigres doesn't make it, I think it's a failure for them for what they have and how much they spent to bring him in and to bring Dam and how it's played. Out of anybody of the teams that played last week, I thought Tigres, came in and did the job right and won.
I think that I don't think it'd be a massive shock in terms of Toluca are just consistently good for the last few years. I think the thing about Toluca that worries me is that I thought they were terrible. Not terrible, that's probably too extreme, but they were poor for most of the series against Puebla. They had a decent first half and they went 2-0 up in that first leg in Estadio Cuauhtémoc. But then after that, they allowed Puebla to come back in the second half in the first leg, and then honestly, in that second leg, I thought they were lucky. I thought they were lucky to get that to get away with. I know they got a win, but Puebla absolutely battered them. I mean, for me, like they had most of the shots and better possession, and I thought Puebla, full credit to them. I thought they were absolutely brilliant in the way that they chased the game, and there were times when I thought Paulo da Silva, I think he's pretty slow, but I thought he had a great game. Same with Aaron Galindo, and obviously you've got Talavera there. So, I think they kept the team in them in the in the tie. But I think what's going to be good moving forward now to this Tigres game is Gignac against those two, Gignac against Galindo and da Silva, because those guys are old school kind of veteran defenders, and Gignac's absolutely on fire.
It should be fun. Let's go ahead and analyze, the games. Start with America León. The game obviously on Wednesday, where a very, very, actually, you know what? We kind of said this in the last podcast, where León would come in playing, not at home, is León could be, scored on 4 or 5 goals, and it happened exactly that. America taking the edge with the lesiones that León had. Pretty much, except for that early goal, León kind of showed what it was the whole season, where this very, very offensive team and a team that does not know how to defend, Pizzi, with over 50 goals, I think, for the year, still doesn't change anything. So America, we'll give it to Johnny since it's his team. Kind of analyzing the game, kind of what you saw from the first game to the ida and the vuelta, but anything that surprised you, and at the same time, that Leon matchup, kind of historic match that they have. Good to see, obviously, America go through because it was the better team.
Yeah, I think America played a brilliant first game, and they in the second leg they didn't play so well, but I don't think it's criticizable. I think Ambris set down Benedetto, saved them. Only went with one striker, put in Güemes, an extra defensive mid. And you know what? I like that. Leon's strong suit at home was those three midfielders to push forward a lot. So Ambris countered with three defensive midfielders out there, and it got the job done. We've gone back. You and me, we've gone back and forth over the Matosas playing style. I mean, I'm not in favor of an all attack team precisely because of what happened in the America Leon series. The all attack team just got pounded. The more well balanced team, got the job done.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I think I still haven't seen what PC has done, especially on defense. I would say even though Matos's teams were very offensive, it did have some, the defense at the same time. It was Rafa Marquez who was there. So, I mean, that's a very big difference. But, Tom, in, Nacho Ambriz coming in, not having his first liguilla, and the way they had it, we said, Boselli not being there, it looked like the same, Luis Montes and Gulit Peña far away from what we know 100%. A Leon with some injuries, but at the same time, America did its game, especially in Saturday's game where they went in and they got the job done. You have a team. I can't think of another team that can have that contragolpe and really, really be scary. So I said it, even though I'm as a Leon fan, that hope of getting 3 goals in was almost there with a couple of chances. But Tom, to you, the better team won.
Yeah, I mean, I think credit to Leon for that second leg because I think they played really well and they made a real game of it. When really I started watching the game and thinking there's no chance here, but Leon at home are a formidable team, and credit to America as well for holding on. I think Johnny's right. Ambriz did really well. Two holding midfielders, to really make it to pack the midfield and make it difficult for Leon. But I think America's slightly better, and Leon just they really suffered for that first leg. But yeah, 2 really good teams as well. I think I think they're two of the best in the league, and it's going to be this Pumas America now. Looking forward, is going to be it's going to be an epic series. I mean, it's really difficult to pick a winner out of it.
I mean, you could say that the playoffs started with America and Pumas game in the Estadio Azteca at the end of the regular season. Like, you could tell, like, just from the energy from the stadium and just like the intensity from both sides in that regular season match, that's when it felt like the playoffs truly started. So I'm genuinely looking forward to this series as well, and I'm sure that, I mean, just based off the ticket sales from that match, I'm sure that it's going to be an amazing atmosphere at the Azteca. From Pumas' home stadium as well, I'm sure it's going to be just fantastic at Mexico City.
What I like about this series is that even the second leg, for some reason, they needed the 3 goals, but I thought they had the firepower to do it. Boselli was in. I think after the first goal, 1-0, right in the beginning of the second half, Luis Montes missed a sitter almost.
Boselli as well missed a couple.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? If those would have gone in, and I know that it could have, should have, whatever, but it could have been an interesting match. And then obviously, golazos that are there. So as far, even though it was 4-0. 4-1 on the match. I thought, Leon did as much as he could. Not sure what's going to happen next for Leon, but at the same time, going for America and that Pumas. But let's, I think it was what everybody kind of wanted. I mean, especially with the season that Pumas has had, and the way they have.
I know Pumas is the best attacking team this season, but I feel America's firepower up top is kind of barely beginning to turn on. Benedetto's kind of finding that early season groove again after coming back from injury. Mickey Arroyo, took advantage of the playing time that the Benedetto injury. The only one I feel still hasn't kind of got his touchback is Peralta, and he can wake up at any given moment.
Yeah,
But I think between Arroyo and Benedetto, and even Darwin Quintero has stepped up his game ever so slightly. He's still not the Darwin
Yeah.
Quintero from Santos, but it's a lot better than 6 months ago's Quintero.
Yeah, I think Pumas America is the best team this season. Pumas. I mean, the regular season tells it: goals scored, points gained, matches won, home record. I know they struggled against Veracruz, but Veracruz for me are a really tricky team, very difficult to get past. But so it's the best team this season against the best team in recent history in the Mexican League. I mean, America have got to the last 8 liguillas, 6 semifinals in that time, and 2 titles. I mean, you look at the what's it called, the relegation table thing, and America right number 1 up there. I mean, it's the best team. It's a mini golden period for Club America, and they'll be really hoping that they can get this title and move on to 13.
I couldn't agree with you more, Tom, except for the word recent.
So what? Sorry.
The word recent, just the best team in recent history.
we're gonna talk about. I mean, we're gonna talk about Peralta, John. I mean, let's see. He's only scored 1 goal since September 26th. Benedetto seems to be kind of carrying the team. If Benedetto isn't doing well, can America still find success?
Yes, Mickey Arroyo loves to step up right at the when the team needs him the most. Mickey Arroyo can be quiet the entire season, but at the moment of truth, when the team needs him the most, when Benedetto goes injured and Peralta's not in form, Mickey Arroyo shows up.
I mean, the
Yeah.
problem is up against a Puma side that has scored 37 goals in 17 games. I know that they struggle a little bit in their quarterfinal series, but I think that I think they should be able to easily find a little bit more goals right now than America, who only scored 30 during the regular season.
Yeah, but you saw Pumas. I thought of out of anybody was the team that, I mean, aside from Leon, but the ones that are in now, I think that they look the worst in this. I know obviously Jaguares and what they did, but I give it credit. I mean, maybe get credit to Veracruz, who did a great game, who should have a hold up high on what they did against Pumas. But at the same time, I thought Pumas just kind of
Now,
looked.
coming from me, this might not have much weight, but I think the mental factor also, the mental aspect of this also comes to play. And let's be honest, when America and Pumas face each other in playoffs, who's the likely winner? Both recent America titles they had to go through Pumas, and they easily did. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a rivalry, and I think it's in Pumas' head that they still have that chip on their shoulder that they need to get over, and I think that might play a factor in this. Plus the pressure of being the league leaders. I think it will be a factor.
Last 3 liguillas is, I think, for Pumas, America took them out, right?
I think,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, I mean, this isn't helping my argument, but I think I heard earlier today that I think that Pumas haven't knocked out America from the Liguilla since like 1991.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not-
No, I mean, I think more than anything, I think apart from all that historical stuff, honestly don't think it matters too much. I don't think it's going to be in the Pumas players' heads big time. But I think what gives America an advantage is they've been through so many liguillas and they know what's coming up and they know how to manage the games. And I think Pumas over the last few years haven't had that experience. And I think the team's newer, and I think that's the reason they might kind of struggle at some point. I mean, I think I don't think there's much in this game, America Pumas. But if I was to go for a team, I'd go slightly with Club America.
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, from the 2 semifinals, this is definitely one where it seems like this is going to be the closer series. I think it could go either side. I still see Pumas as barely getting past America, but it's still. I mean, you could easily make an argument for either team.
Yeah. We already talked a little bit.
Comments, huh?
We already talked about the Toluca game, and what Puebla did. Puebla not getting it done for those fans, especially. I mean, I was watching the game and it's just like I've never seen the Cuauhtemoc that
You know, I
crazy.
I think
The new Cuauhtemoc.
I think Puebla got it done for the fans. I mean, look at what Puebla is, a team fighting relegation, them being in the playoffs, them being able to inaugurate their stadium with a playoff match. That's getting it done for the fans, I think.
I think they did really well in the quarterfinal match, the last one against Toluca. I mean, they had what was it? Just like was it 23 shots and like 9 on target against Talavera. Talavera had an excellent game, in that second leg. I think they were pretty close to to winning that match. I definitely think you got to give credit to Puebla, for stepping up in the series. I mean, they lost in the end, but I don't think it was really as bad as people were making it out to be.
Well, especially from with when we were coming in. I think when we were last week when we were talking about the game, we're just kind of like, probably not the most interesting game. If you have to miss out on one, if whatever it was that game. But just like Johnny said, it's I think everybody expected Toluca to win, and props to Puebla that nobody had them. I mean, I mean, if you at the beginning of the season said that Puebla was going to be one of the top 8, I wouldn't have been there.
6 years it took Puebla to get back. That's 12 seasons that Puebla had to go through with no playoff appearance.
Yeah.
I think they did good.
No, I think they did really well. What interests me a bit about Puebla, and it just sprung to mind and I tweeted it out, is it's almost like a bit of a Moneyball team. It's like the most unfashionable players you can imagine on one team. Like Pato Araujo, and then you've got the likes of Hobbit Bermudez, Luis Gabriel Reyes, about foot. You've got all these players who haven't made it. David from Chivas, but yeah, that hopefully can keep the base, because I think Puebla, said it before, is a brilliant city, and I think that the fans deserve a decent team. But should we? Some people might have noticed somebody's popped up on the screen as well.
Random,
This isn't someone
Well, here
sneaking.
it is, our a special guest for the Mexican Soccer Show, a first. We said we had a special guest, Mr. Tomás. He's in Guadalajara. Tomás, hablamos un poquito en español para que, bueno, podamos tener esa conversación, pero si quieres, inglés, español, bienvenido a Mexican Soccer Show.
Francis.
Yeah. Hi guys, as you want, in English or in Spanish, but my English is really bad.
I say let's try some Spanish.
We talked in Guadalajara and it wasn't that bad, but whatever you feel like.
we can try in English, and I will finish my sentences in Spanish if.
All right. Well, obviously, we said a little bit before. Tomás is an expert, especially for some publications in France, and covers all of the Central America, mostly in Mexico, living in Mexico, and obviously with Ginac's inclusion to the Mexica Liga MX, it'd be great to have you on and talk a little bit about the influence that you see there, and especially coming from someone outside of Mexico, living in. Kind of like Tom, but Tomás, I guess my question to you is, did you see, obviously when that move came in, this big of an impact, and we're seeing it day to day, especially on the field, how huge it is for someone like Gubin for Gignac to come in to one of the leagues, especially Liga MX, who we keep saying it's a great league, but at the same time now I think with players like Gignac, it's finally showing it.
Mm-hmm. I think that for him it's really a great experience, because the atmosphere in Mexico is really warm in the stadium. When Gignac go back to France, do you listen?
Yep.
When Gignac go back to France, he really praised the atmosphere in Mexico. He said that he was really pleased with Tigres crowd, the Tigres aficionados. And then for the French people, it's a bit weird to see a striker from the national team go to Mexico. A lot of people didn't understand that. But the first month in Mexico, with the images we saw from Mexico, have make people in France change a little bit their mind. I think they begin to understand. The more open-minded people begin to understand what he do in Mexico.
Tomas, do you think? I mean, this is a question. Do you think there are people watching Liga MX in France because of Gignac now?
Well, by streaming, because the fact is not even a short channel broadcast Liga MX. They have seen the hardcore fans of Gignac have seen the Libertadores.
Mm-hmm.
There is a channel that got the rights of the Copa Libertadores. But I see that from Twitter, talking via Twitter with French people, I see that some of them really don't sleep to see Gignac. But most of all, they are Marseille fans of the Olympique de Marseille, the team where Gignac was playing before going to Mexico.
Wow.
¿Y Tomás, te ha sorprendido el rendimiento de Gignac en México? ¿O
La verdad que no, es que obviamente no puedes saber que va a anotar así 2 golazos, como lo hizo esa semana, 2 goles increíbles. Pero Gignac es un muy buen delantero. Acaba de salir de su mejor temporada de su carrera en el Marsella. Y llegó con muy buena forma física y se le notaba realmente motivado. Y en el pasado en Francia sí se habló mucho de su peso, porque en unas temporadas tenía un poquito de pancita. Ahora se ve que está muy bien físicamente, se le ve muy motivado y la verdad que es un jugador de nivel internacional. No, diría está un poquito abajo de gente como Benzema, que están más dotados técnicamente, pero en el uno contra defensores, realmente es alguien de nivel internacional.
¿Y crees que aquí en México es muy fácil para él en términos de la presión de los defensores y que tiene más espacio? Porque vimos los goles contra Chiapas, ¿no? Y en los dos tenía pues muchísimo espacio para moverse.
Sí, es cierto que creo que tiene más espacio que en Francia, sobre todo que la liga francesa es muy defensiva. Realmente no te dejan respirar. No es espectacular, pero es muy como seria, muy rígida tácticamente. Pero luego creo que al mismo tiempo con el esquema del Tuca, a menudo Gignac está muy aislado como centro delantero, que no me parece que tampoco que es fácil para él.
Sí.
Y una pregunta que muchos, especialmente mexicanos, Tomás, ¿crees que Gignac se quede más temporadas o este es un nuevo paso para decirle a toda la gente que puede jugar en todas partes y luego regresarse a Francia?
Yo creo que tiene calidad para jugar en Europa.
¿Con quién? ¿Marseille?
Estamos tratando de vender el talento de la liga otra vez a Europa.
Maybe he can join Marco Fabian and they can go as a duo to the Bundesliga or something.
Keep the talent in the Liga MX.
No, he will stay. I think he will stay.
Yeah.
Almost one more year. Because he's got a big contract now.
Mm-hmm.
It will be difficult to have the same contract in Europe. And he seems to be really pleased here. He seems to enjoy the atmosphere. Then, it's this first month. I think that until now, everything is beautiful for him. He plays final of Libertadores, 2 golazos in Liguilla. He's in semi-final. He can win the championship. And above all, being in Mexico in la Liga MX, the national team have convocated him.
Called him up.
He's got a cap.
Called him.
Call him, yeah, call him. So it's like really perfect for him.
And do you think he'll go to the Euros? Or do you think he'll be on the outside?
I think he will go, but not only because he keep his good level, but because the Benzema Valbuena affair, the sextet affair, make that it seems that Benzema will not play the Euro.
No?
It's really difficult for him to play the Euro.
Wow.
And the other striker that was above him the last at the beginning of the year, it is Alexandre Lacazette from Lyon.
Mm.
Have a really bad season. So I think Gignac is just behind Olivier Giroud from Arsenal. I don't see more people to really to compete with him.
Good stuff.
There is Martial from Manchester United.
He's good, him.
Yeah, the Tom's team, but he's not the same kind of striker, Martial.
Yeah.
Tomás, as far as going in with the Liguilla with Tigres, what do you expect from Gignac? And then having a conversation about Tigres, and Toluca having a very, very hard team to go against in Toluca. But Tomás, obviously you watch Tigres because of Gignac more than anybody. What do you expect from him and the team overall against the semifinal match here against Toluca?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think he might be the key player from Tigres because, like he was against Jaguares, because he had made the difference 2 times, and it could be the same against Toluca. But for Tigres, I think it would be better that the danger doesn't come only from Gignac.
Yeah, what do you think? Like Tigres' style suits him? Because obviously, I mean, we talk all the time about Tigres' style, and it's almost like possession for the sake of possession. It's almost stale kind of possession. It's not like the kind of possession that's like fast moving forward, trying to constantly attack and score a goal. And it seemed like even that tie against Chiapas. I mean, that one at home, it was like Tigres weren't that good. Chiapas had the chances, and then it was a bit of genius from Gignac. After I think it was Arevallo's ball, no? And then it was a bit genius from Damian Alvarez. And it's like without those 2 bits of absolute magic, then Tigres might well have lost that game. But do you think Gignac would actually, even though he scored so many goals, do you think it would suit a different, faster kind of a team that are gonna basically play faster and give him more kind of balls into the box, because Tigres just hold back so much?
Mm-hmm. I think the Tigres style suits him. What he's looking for is just that Gignac should have more opportunities, because he has just 2-3 opportunities by game, and but that's the Tuca style, because we don't see we don't see the right back or the left back go to the offensive and make center to him. But surely, if Tigres was more counter attack,
Counter attack.
it would be good for him. But he's so strong physically that I think that for him to be to wait from the ball. It's alright for him. It's alright for him.
Sí. Tomás, y para terminar, yo sé que tienes también mucho que hacer. Esa charla, ¿qué tan grande sería que Gignac ganara la liga en su primera temporada con Tigres aquí con México? especialmente para él como personal. Sé que lo conoces, has hablado con él, pero ganar la liga, Tom lo dijo casi, que es que le queda chica si la gana, pero también para él personalmente es ser campeón.
Sí, bueno, es cierto que ya hubiera hecho casi toda la vuelta de lo que puede hacer en México si la gana. Pero al mismo tiempo, en 6 meses. Pero al mismo tiempo, yo creo que sería una experiencia increíble para él ganar la liga con realmente la afición de Tigres, que es muy calurosa. Sería, pienso, una fiesta increíble, un recuerdo que le quedaría por la vida. Hay que decir que la afición del Marsella, que es un antiguo club, que es también su club, el club del cual él mismo es aficionado, es muy cálida también, es la más cálida en Francia, pero por lástima por Gignac, bueno, no fue campeón con el Marsella.
Sí.
Oye, Tomás, ¿crees que vienen más jugadores de Francia por lo que ha hecho Gignac y lo que sabes tú de los sueldos, de lo que pagan en Ligue 1 y lo que pagan en la Liga MX? O sea, ¿crees que sí vienen más?
Creo que es posible porque Gignac habla muy bien de la Liga Mexicana cuando se fue a Francia para jugar con la selección. También él mismo dijo que jugadores de Francia, o por lo menos de la Liga Francesa, le contactaron para que le buscaría un club en México. Y en cuanto a los salarios, los mejores clubes mexicanos rivalizan sin problema con los clubes franceses, excepto el París, que es fuera de liga, ¿no? Pero, no, creo que en cuanto a salario no sería un problema por los buenos clubes mexicanos. Los que están un poquito más débiles económicamente, tal vez sería así difícil de llegar al nivel de sueldos de la liga.
Bueno, Tomás, muchos también de aquí del chat.
Wait, what más? For me, all right. So this is what we're all wondering. It's a lot of us. We don't know how to properly pronounce Andre Pierre Gignac. I say it in English, Andre Pierre Gignac. Some people say it in Spanish, Andre Gignac. We don't know.
No. My wondering is, can you ask that in Spanish?
No lo puedo hacer en español. No. Nomás en inglés. Nomás en inglés.
My best call, Andre Pierre Gignac.
Yeah. I've done lessons to Tom, and yeah.
Let's see.
Perfect now.
Don't listen to me.
How about if we all go take a guess of how you pronounce it?
All right, and then you got to do it at the end.
Andre
All right.
Gignac?
Go on, Luiso.
Luis, go ahead.
Andre Pierre Gignac?
Andre Pierre Gignac.
Andre Pierre Gignac.
Ajá.
Andre Pierre Gignac.
Andre quiere coñac.
¿Qué?
Y un Big Mac.
No, lo pronuncian muy bien, es así. André Pierre Gignac.
Andre Pierre Gignac.
Andre Pierre Gignac.
Andre Pierre
No es
Gignac.
Gignac. No.
Para terminar, Tomás, los del chat aquí en YouTube dicen que por qué no se queda y que se case con una mexicana para que su hijo pueda jugar con la selección mexicana.
No lo han visto jugar.
Amigo a Gignac.
Gignac, yo pensé que Tomás.
No, Tomás, Tom.
Ahí, bueno, a ver qué el futuro dice, pero Gignac, él tiene un hijo mexicano ya.
Bueno.
There's another Mexican that you guys are probably selling off to
Pero
Europe
ahí está su hijo mexicano, muy bien. Bueno, Tomás, queremos agradecerte. Thank you so much for coming on here at the Mexican Soccer Show. I know that we've shared and talked to whenever we go to Guadalajara and hang out at the Jalisco game, and I know Cesar's got a chance to meet you, and obviously Tom is there. But I want to thank you for coming on.
I got to meet this guy in Tijuana too. Don't leave me out.
Go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny. We're still hoping for Bielsa. Don't worry.
Bielsa believers.
We know that maybe he's taking his time, just like you said. If you don't know, Tomas wrote a great book titled Bielsa on him, and that would have been amazing if he would have came in. But that's not.
Hey, Tomas, where can people find you on Twitter? just before you head off.
Es Tomás, Tinache, Gaubin, P-O-U, B de burro, y latina, N de nene.
Bueno, ahí está. Tom, can you retweet his Twitter, please?
Did you see it?
Muy simple.
Muy bien, muy bien. Bueno, Tomás, muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll keep talking to you, especially with this if Gignac keeps going and all the news that we have. Thank you very much.
A pleasure. Bye.
Gracias, Tomás.
Yes.
Well, there you go, guys. Special guest from a great guy, especially on a personal level. We had fun times in Guadalajara. But what he says, and it's true, Tom, we kept asking him a little bit more. He goes back over there. People are watching this league. I could just imagine maybe they're keeping up on Gignac, and then they see, a Jurgen Damm. It could also bring players over there, right? The exposure that they're giving, and then vice versa, bringing players like Gignac and talking so well. Why not go out and get more players, especially if there's so much money in the Liga MX?
No, I think it's been Gignac coming over to Mexico and doing what he's done is it's just been absolutely perfect in almost every respect. I mean, he speaks well about Mexico, he speaks well about Tigres, he's bringing attention to the league, and he's getting called up to the French national team, which if you look at the betting odds, I think they're favourites for the Euros next summer. So he's getting up in an absolute top-class national team. So it's all good when it comes to Gignac, and the fact he's done so well. I mean, I really like him as a player as well. He's just like he's like he always just his work rate. You know what I mean? I think that's been the key. He's not come to Mexico and just kind of sat back. He's really working hard. He's looking trim. We know he's had a couple of weight problems in his past, but he's looking really good. And I think that.
And you know what?
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't?
And honestly, a runners-up finish in Copa Libertadores and a runners-up finish in Liga MX is, nothing, not too shabby.
Just for the golazos alone, I feel like it was just it's fantastic watching Gignac. He's on a different level, and just like Tomas said, he's international. He's worthy to be playing. For the French national team, he's worthy to be playing on that kind of level, and it's been fantastic to see him. And obviously, people from Monterrey really like him. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but like there was a couple, really young couple. They looked like they were in like their late teens or something.
14.
Yeah, they look really
That's illegal.
Really but they named their kid after Gignac. They named it like Andre. I think it was Andre Pierre. I don't know, but they named their kid after the.
It was called Andre Gignac Lopez or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Are you sure it wasn't Andres Pablo?
Andres Pablo.
Not to make it into the Gignac show, but it was good to have Tomas on. But let's go ahead and let's end the show. Let's get our predictions on what we see what's gonna have. I threw it out there, having León be upset, and then also Jaguares, who completely let me down. La Volpe looked like he had a clue in that game. It was so flat. But who do you guys have? Why? We'll start off with Mr. Cesar Hernandez, who missed last week, but he's now back on with his predictions. I think me and you were kind of the same on the Jaguares prediction. But Cesar, is it just easy? Pumas Tigres, is that the final? Do they want the America final? What do the fans want? What do you want? What's going to happen?
I mean, what do I want? I mean, that's an entirely different thing. What I think will happen.
Tigres are already out, remember, Cesar?
Yeah, I know. Just somehow they'll sneak in. I don't know how. I have no idea how. I think I still see Pumas beating America. I think we all talk about the Pumas attack, but I think one thing that's often overlooked when we talk about Pumas is the defense. I think the defense has been fantastic for Pumas this season. I think Picolín has also, Picolín Portero has been doing great performances every now and then for them as well. So I see them getting past America. And I know we talk about Tigres and Toluca. I think there's no way I could see Toluca getting past Tigres at this point. So what I'm saying, I'm seeing a final between Tigres and Pumas, and I think at the end it's almost inevitable that Gignac is going to be scoring another golazo, and that Tigres are going to be winning this season's trophy.
Nice. Johnny, Tigres or Toluca? Because we already know your prediction for the other one.
What I do have to say about the other one, as great as a season that the Pumas goalkeeper has had, let's not forget, he is still a picolín.
He's still-
He is still a picolín. So let's not forget that factor. Anyway, but I see all cats being eliminated. So it's gonna be America Toluca is my bet.
All right.
And there you have my 2 cents.
I've been saving those this whole time.
Just clean that penny, man. Tom?
I think that I'm going to go with American Tigres final. It's also the final I want to see. I think it's two best teams, player for player, in the league. I think there's a bit of revenge there because of met in the final. I think Tigres are desperate to get one over America. I don't agree completely with Cesar that it's going to be a foregone conclusion for Tigres. They worry me at home. I don't think they've been as strong this season at home. They worry me that they're not going to get a win, and the draw at home, and then taking it to the El Infierno. And the second leg is never ever easy. I mean, it's difficult. There's a lot of bad blood between Cardoso and Ferretti. Cardoso will be absolutely desperate to beat him. I think it's going to be really tight. I don't think Tigres are going to run away with it. But like you said, Cesar, you back Tigres with the players they've got, with that a little bit of special, with Gignac, and not just Gignac, but with Aquino and Dam and Damian Alvarez coming off the bench. He'd be a star for any other team in the league.
Yeah.
Just
players on the bench. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. I mean, the strength in depth is unbelievable. I think Torres Nilo's going to be back, so that's another plus for Tigres. And then at the other side, we've got America Pumas. I mean, I don't think there's much between them. I really don't. I'm going to just go with America again, just because of the individual quality. We saw what Benedetto did against Leon, and he looks like he's really peaking at the right time. And I'm not going to lie. I know Pumas fans will not like me for it, but I've not been entirely convinced by. Sorry, let me put it right. I'm not entirely convinced that Pumas are one of the top 4 teams in the league. I think they're a very good team. I think they've had a very good season, but I think America are a better team. I just think player for player, and on the bench as well, America are just a bit ahead. And I think if a rational perspective is that'll show over the 2 games.
I fully endorse that message.
There you do.
For me, I think I'm with Tom with America and Tigres going through. But you know what? It is Liga MX. It is the Liguilla. So Toluca and Pumas are going to go through and spoil everybody's party is what's going to happen. But the final that no one wants to see out of these 4 teams, I think, aside from Pumas and Toluca fans. But I think America and Tigres would be a dream final, especially with the teams that they have. For me,
the only thing that goes against that is that the fact that the final will be on like the 23rd, 24th.
Yes, about
and that will absolutely be awful.
Well, see, that's a quick thing to bring up. I know we're wrapping up the show, but at Joel Tenna, he brought up. He said that if America's in the final and it looks like it could be 23rd or the 27th or the 24th or whatever, like who does this does this delay? Like who does this help? Does it help America or does it help the opponent who's waiting back?
America.
Yeah.
America, no doubt. I mean, Tigres are just going to be doing nothing for a couple of weeks. America are going to be keeping up the intensity. I mean, I don't think it's going to help America come next season because they'll have barely had a break. But I think that in terms of the final, America are in rhythm. They'll have
the Club Cup, the Club World Cup coming back. I mean.
Yeah, but they'll have time to. I think there's a week between when they'll come back. I mean, assuming that they don't beat Barcelona, and then play in the first leg of the. Johnny don't like that. He thinks they can beat Barca.
With Matosas.
I mean, we don't even know if they're going to beat Gongzhou Evergrande. I think I pronounced it right. I have no clue. I mean, their motto is "Be the best forever." It's a little intimidating.
And our motto is "Odiame más." So what?
Our motto is 50 goals in 1 year.
Allowed or what?
Yes, the defense. All right. Well, there you go. The prediction. It looks like on Twitter, people are saying Tigres versus America from Omar. Big cat final. Tigres versus Cheaters. Oh, funny.
Yeah, a lot of talk about the refereeing this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was poor. I don't think there's any doubt. I thought it was poor.
Everybody complained.
But yeah, everyone were complaining. I think Puebla, Marini was like they're always favouring the bigger teams. Veracruz, the same message. I'm not.
Hora penal.
I'm not entirely convinced, especially by the Veracruz one, because it were like there was a penalty for Pumas as well. So it's like you can't just pick and choose. But I think that in general the quality was poor, no doubt about it. But I think that they've gone a bit over the top with the criticism.
Yeah, I agree. I think.
I mean, they should have scored the goals. Veracruz had the chances.
Exactly. I think there was a lot of questionable calls, but at the same time, that they still couldn't finish those opportunities that they had. And everybody who was complaining. I don't know. I think it's just getting blown up a little bit. But yeah, I think it's definitely some questionable decisions. But yeah, no, I agree with you.
Well, good. I think
Should we talk about Vela to end it off?
going to the MLS.
dear. It could actually end it all.
He could actually. He goes to Commerce City. He's like, wait, I thought I was going to like Denver. What's Commerce City? You're like, what is this Dick's Sporting Goods Park?
Are you saying Cesar good move for Vela? Step up.
I think they're gonna have to give him a good amount of money.
Music explain.
What-
Music explain. Music explain. You're done. You're done.
Once
Music
he, goes,
explain.
once he goes to
Music
Commerce
explain.
City, he's gonna be like, what's going on over here?
I don't think he's gonna go there, man. I don't know.
I like what his his like. Well, we're looking at stuff, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna go.
I think he's gonna go. I think if it doesn't go in the winter, he's gonna go in the summer. And I think if
He's
you
gonna
read
end up there.
no, I think he'll do it soon. I mean, what's coming out from him? He says he wants to be near his family. He says he's open to listening to him.
Go to Veracruz.
Eh?
Go to Veracruz.
No, it's never going to happen. He loves that lifestyle. I think he's been talking. His agent was saying he's been in Europe 10 years. Everything that's coming from Vela's camp, he's telling me that MLS really appeals to him. And Vela has never been one to do what other people want him to do.
Exactly.
He does what the hell he wants. Like play for Mexico if he wants, or he won't. You know what I mean? And I think he'll be the same. I think he'll be like, been living in the Basque Country for so many years. I've been jumping around Europe. I want to go play in the US and be one flight away from Cancun and party up a bit and have a good time.
The best Mexican soccer player who doesn't like soccer.
Yeah.
I think after
maybe
Gio,
you should
anything
come
is
to the Bay
possible.
Area. Maybe you should come to the Bay Area, join the Quakes or something.
Yeah,
They want him. Bay Area, it's up hang out in San Francisco and be not too far away from LA. It'll be good times.
No, I think San Jose or I think the one that stands out is Chicago or there's a few that stand out. Chicago, the new LA team, which you'd have to wait a bit,
You have to wait.
or Miami. Who knows when that's going to happen? But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's going to happen. Me.
I think it is going to happen too. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be good for Mexican football because I think more and more Mexican players are going to follow. I think Fabian, there's a decent chance he'll end up there as well in the next year.
I'm gonna roar so loud.
And then maybe Ochoa will be next. I think Ochoa's will be next on the list.
I heard rumors of Ochoa coming to Cholos, so I'm got my hopes there.
And that is until like Fabian and LAFC beat America in the CONCACAF Champions League.
I don't think any MLS team is at Liga MX level.
What? Galaxy? Come on.
They didn't even make the playoffs.
Oh, come on.
They didn't even make the playoffs in
Liga
MLS.
MX is better than MLS, but we can't say that certain MLS teams would
Yeah, Dorados.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Dorados.
No, okay. I'm going playoff teams in MLS against playoff teams in Mexico. It's easily dominated by Mexico.
Yeah, I mean
Easily. With their eyes closed. With their two paintes.
Very true. Very, very true. And that could be another discussion, another show, of course. We're gonna end the show. It's already almost 8 at the Pacific time. But thank you, Tom, Johnny, Cesar, especially with your predictions coming on the show. And a special thanks to Mr. Tomas Gubin, him coming on talking about Ginac. Everyone on the chat criticizing our producers and their songs.
Nothing wrong with these songs, I'm telling you. Nothing wrong with them at all.
I know, man. Great line of the night by Pancho Villasarni Is Belinda still single? Can she date Gignac? Fun times on the chat. So
I'll give her a ring later.
thank you to all. Please subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you have a YouTube account. The subscribers, you get all the emails. Also with the Mexican Soccer Show on Twitter and on Facebook. Follow all of us on our Twitter handles throughout the week and during the game. Exciting times here with Mexican Soccer Show. Lots and lots of news, especially with what's going on within our camp as well. You'll be looking to see new logos. We did have an intern that we officially hired. We'll be releasing name and all of that. So thank you all who applied.
Well, we're having a press conference to announce our intern.
We should. We should just have her on. But lots to come from us. We appreciate all of it.
Actually, you know what? Tomorrow I might grab my phone, use the Mexican Soccer Show Twitter handle, and Periscope the Miguel Herrera presentation press conference.
Yeah, do it.
There you go.
12:45, right?
Yeah, that's happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we'll be. I already said Johnny will have a press conference at Piojo. That'd be great for him to come in. So, all right, guys. Have a wonderful night. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving in the U.S. And the holiday season's right around the corner. So stay warm. We'll see you next week.